What if Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka moved to a small seaside community where he worked as a mortician obsessed with restoring dead bodies?
What if that was never said out loud again?
That's right, Max and I are about to get dead and buried.
Max crash landed from outer space. He imprinted on the first face. Could have met a world leader or a scientist, but he met Matt, and now he's pissed. Instead of learning about our world and how it clicks, he's stuck watching Matt's favorite flicks. Deep Cuts with Matt and Max.
Hi, I'm Matt Catanzano, and this is my best friend Max.
Help me!
Tonight I'm showing Max the 1981 Masterclass in Atmosphere.
Dead and buried.
That's a hell of a title.
Right? Sounds like an ALKALINE Trio song.
Who's ALKALINE Trio?
Ooh, they're this band you would really like. They have a song called Dead and Broken, and a song called Buried, but I don't think they have a song called Dead and Buried. Oh, they have a song called American Scream, like American Dream, but...
The movie, Matt, the movie.
Sorry, Dead and Buried, which comes with one hell of a tagline.
Is it "This movie will make you wish you were dead and buried"?
No, it's...
It will take your breath away. All of it.
So, horror movie, I'm assuming?
Yeah. This is the type of low-budget, slow-burn, stylistically atmospheric, mature horror flick they don't make anymore.
I wonder why.
Me too. Genuinely. Because it's great.
So what's this award-winning flick about?
A sheriff in a small, picturesque town has to figure out who's behind a slew of grisly murders.
Oh. So it's a mystery?
Yeah, and what a mystery. Because that sheriff and we, the audience, have no idea what's going on until the very end of the movie. And even then...
hell is going on in this town?
There's no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
which direction we are
I'm sure
going.
that's what you like about it.
Oh, of course. Unraveling the mystery of the town mob of photographer murderers is all the fun. It's like an EC comic, or like a really grisly episode of The Twilight Zone.
Wait, can we back up a bit? Murderous mob of town?
No. Town mob of photographer murderers. Murderous photographers. One of those.
Welcome to Potter's Bluff.
Explain.
I'll try. See, the sheriff is one of those fancy smart pants that all the locals heckle.
If you can't solve a traffic accident, what are you going to do if a crime happens?
Very funny.
It's reminiscent of another Ocean Town law enforcement agent surrounded by fools.
We know all about you, Chief. You don't go in the water at all, do you?
Some bad hat, Harry.
But there's no giant man-eating shark. In this, it's the townsfolk, graphically killing anybody that enters the town. So kind of the opposite of Jaws. In Jaws, they need the tourists, and in this one, they murder them.
Now, come on, let's get out of here, all right?
Welcome to Potter's Bluff.
What's going on? Give me the boy! Run! Run!
I know who'd watch it. But who would make such a thing?
Okay, little background. This comes from the writers of Alien, Ronald Shusett and Dan O'Bannon. Although, in a special feature on the DVD, there's an interview with Dan O'Bannon where he reveals that he didn't write any of it. He just gave some notes that were ignored, but they needed to use his name for marketing purposes.
Okay. Use my name, Ronnie said. I promise you, you won't be embarrassed by the film.
And Alien, a title I'm intrigued by, is a popular movie?
Huge.
Can we watch that instead?
Nope.
That's how I feel.
Same. I want to tell you so badly about Dead and Buried that I feel like I could burst. It's directed by Gary A. Sherman, who horror fiends know from Deathline, Cannibals in the London Underground, and Poltergeist 3, the one in the big city. It stars James Ferrantino, who I'm sure you remember from the Damon Wayans Adam Sandler movie Bulletproof.
Will you shut up? Shut the hell up! You'll always be my bodyguard, you know that.
I'm just kidding. I think only my younger brother and I saw that movie. Although here's a fun fact, he was the voice of a character named Grungy in an episode of Real Monsters.
That was a kid's show.
Yep.
And thus, you were born.
And I turned out fine. The movie also stars Melody Anderson from Flash Gordon and the man who walks away with the movie in his pocket, Jack Albertson, aka Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka.
What's he do?
Well, at first he has to stay in a bed with a bunch of other people, but then all of a sudden he can walk and dance when he gets good news. Depression, am I right?
'Cause I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden ticket.
No, in this. What's he in this?
Oh, he plays William Dobbs, an eccentric old man who loves his job. In fact, you could say that this is a movie about a man who's truly passionate about the thing he's best at life.
Huh. That's kind of a sweet sentiment.
It is. Except what he's best at is being a mortician and coroner who loves restoring mutilated bodies.
I make souvenirs. All right, Jimmy.
And he hates closed casket funerals.
Look at the work I've done. This is an art, and I am the artist. What can you remember about a sealed box, a sealed casket? That is obscene. That is the death of memory.
What a creep.
Yeah, this movie is creepy. There's a growing sense of dread throughout that's spiked by scenes of intense graphic violence.
It can't get worse than that though, right?
Wrong. This movie is most famous for one scene in particular, and it looks like this.
I'm gonna give you something. It's gonna make you feel even better.
No. 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 Why? 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 Stop it!
You folks must be from the city. Not used to all this small town hospitality, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No!
I'm sorry, but look how effective that effect is. You know how they did that? They actually had a needle in the eye of a puppet, and then they pull it out, and then when they put it in the movie, they reverse that footage so it looks like he's being stabbed in the eye.
What's a puppet?
Now's a great time to do a little behind the screens. Here, in the meantime, why don't you read Dan O'Bannon's Guide to Screenplay Structure?
I thought you said he didn't write it.
So the true star of this movie is Stan Winston.
Har was my middle name.
There's a great interview with Stan Winston on the special edition Blue Underground DVD, which you can also just find online. It's filled with spoilers, so wait until after you watch the movie, but it's a great watch. I mean, Stan Winston basically explains that this is early him.
And this was before it was Stan Winston and Stan Winston Studio, and I did, most of the work myself.
And most of them were done with puppets.
I was getting into, at this period of time, trying to, again, go beyond simply what you could do with a makeup effect and recreate actors and start using forms of puppetry.
That needle in the eye? A puppet. The charred remains of a human being screaming? That was a puppet.
What's a puppet?
Shh. Just keep reading.
Charred man
But the best
screaming?
set piece is the total deconstruction and reconstruction of a woman's face. Those are Stan's hands. It's all just one shot with Stan's hands in a time lapse, putting it all together.
Hands that are actually doing the operation are mine. I'm still proud of it today. I look back on it and I go, yeah, that's good work.
The man, the hands, the Stan. That's my favorite practical effect. And speaking of favorites, let's do some. Favorite kill. Favorite, well, look who it is.
Too hard. He's apt to leave this town. We're lucky to have him.
Favorite mansplain.
This is a piece of machinery. It takes a lot more than just gas to run it. Once in a while, you gotta check the oil, you gotta check
I'm
the
not a
water,
mechanic, dear. I'm a school
Favorite
teacher.
wife name to scream out when you're annoyed. Favorite what the moment. Favorite flip out.
police work's a high-stress occupation. You gotta watch yourself.
Favorite no context line.
How do you know I'm not a dirty old man?
So, voodoo.
Favorite how do I get in this class?
Basically a religion. They do not. Look
Just a classroom where you're learning about witchcraft? I could be so lucky. What are you doing?
Listening to Alkaline Trio. They're great.
Right?
No!
Come on.
All right. Crawl is a pretty good song.
Thank you. They have a song called My Little Needle?
No. No, do not cut to that again.
Okay. Let's just watch the movie.
Anything else I need to know?
No. The less you know about this movie going in, the better. Just know that it is slowly, dreadfully building to one hell of a satisfying ending.
We'll see.
Time to get dead and buried. Dead and buried. I was trying to get you to finish my...
I know.
Boo! Hi.
No!